Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Friday, June 26, 2020, and we are again in the final hour of the trading day. Boy, what a day. As I mentioned, each day I prefer to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions for my swing trades in the last hour of the day, and particularly in the last few minutes. That's because during the day you have the day traders, the algorithms. They are the ones controlling the price during the day. At the end of the day, large financial institutions come in, they take over, they're dealing with the most money, and that money pushes the price in the direction that they are making their trades in. So I prefer to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions at the end of the day in the last few minutes based upon what the large financial institutions are doing. So last trading day of the week, boy, it's been quite a volatile week, hasn't it? And what a crazy day. So Quad is here. Hey, good afternoon, Greg, and all. Good afternoon, Quad. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for coming. Steve Burns says, hey, buddy, what's going on? Thank you for being here. Always appreciate it. It's always an honor to have you here in the chat with us. Really is. And also, thank you so much for including me on your Twitter list today on Twitter. I really do appreciate that. Steve says, I hope everyone is keeping their capital safe in this volatility. All I have is my SPY puts, and they are up 85% today and up 15% from my entry. Yeah, I've been watching those puts, and those puts have been all over the place because the market's been all over the place. So fantastic, Steve. Glad to see you're profitable on that today for sure. And thanks again for coming, my friend. Hey, Miko, good to see you. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to you. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Dan is here. Hi, Steve, Greg, and group. Hello, Dan. Nice to see you. Appreciate you being here. Frank Kamal is here. Hey, Kamal. Kamal and I chat during the day on Twitter, and we point out potential trades and so forth. Really appreciate that, Kamal. Thank you. I really like having that. Frank is here. Hey, Frank. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're having a good day. So the market is down 669 points, down 2.6%. That's the Dow. NASDAQ not down as much, down 2.09%, but still down 209 points. S&P is down 65 points, down 2.13. So it's a pretty red day all the way around. It's been a pretty brutal day, everything considered, but we'll take a look when we go through everything. So here's the plan for today. First of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them moving forward. After that, we're going to go through your trades that are up on the board. We're going to see how those are doing. I do see a few up ones today, so that's a good sign. After that, we're going to spend a few minutes on trader psychology, trading philosophy, talk about trading from the psychological standpoint outside of technicals, because in my opinion, that's 80% of the battle of trading. Right. So we're going to talk about that. Hopefully that hearing that each day will help you. I know it helps me to talk about it. After that, I have identified a group of potential end of day trades, both from what I've gone through and then also from Kamal's really great scanner. And so we're going to take a look at those and see if anything looks good. I have 3 requirements before I enter a trade. First requirement, confluence combination of signals lining up. I look at each indicator like MACD and RSI, moving averages, ATR channels, V1, V2 entries, divergences, all that kind of stuff. I look at that. I look at those as potential group of buyers. And if you want to put yourself in a position to have the best possible chance to have a profitable trade, you want to be in the company with as many other groups of buyers as possible. It's really just that simple. I mean, if we take it to an extreme, if you're the only buyer and everyone's selling, you really wouldn't expect it to go up, right? So let's flip that around. If you are in the company with lots of other buyers, then you have the best chance to have a profitable trade. Doesn't mean you're going to have one, but it definitely increases your chances. Step number 2, very important, have a good risk to reward ratio. I don't want to risk more than, if I'm going to risk $100 to the downside, I want to be able to make at least 2 to 3 to 400 times to the upside based upon valid support below me and likely, that's the key word, likely resistance above. And then third, this is what Kamal and I were talking about earlier. Very important correlation. You know, I kind of have a rule. I do not want to take two stocks that are in the same industry on the same day. And I'll just point out Goldman Sachs and I'll point out FAS, right? They're both financials. They both looked really good yesterday when they triggered. They both collapsed today, unfortunately. But, you know, having one is bad enough. But imagine if Kamal had bought both, right? There's just, in my opinion, sure, you can have more than one trade in a day, but don't take more than one trade that is in the same industry, because if they go down, they're most likely going to go down together and you get doubly womped up on. All right. And then lastly, always keep in mind what percentage of your capital you have at risk. You know, I have a policy that I learned from Steve Burns years ago. Steve doesn't like to put more than 60% of his capital at work, regardless of how good the correlation is or non-correlation is, right? You could have something that was not correlated, 6 positions not correlated, taking a 10% position size. And even if they're non-correlated, the max I'm going to have 60%. I'm rarely at 60%, rarely. But anyway, you know, food for thought, right? It's nice to have some dry powder as well. Okay, so with that all said, if the candidates look good, I'm going to go through the candidates with those 3 requirements, take a look, something looks good at the end of the day, I will go ahead and enter the trade or exit a trade, depending on what how things close. Then after the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, please let me know. If you'd like me to take a look at any stocks, please let me know. I'm happy to do that for you. If you'd like me to take a look at some stocks before the market closes and you think it'd be helpful to get my opinion for you and the group, please put them in the chat. Please put an asterisk by it or emoji or a peace sign or whatever, so that I know it's time sensitive, and I'll do my very best to get to it. And then after the market, if you could please wait till after the market, then you could update me on any entries or exits you have on your current positions that are up on the board. It's kind of hard for me to do during the day while the market's still open, because there's a lot of things going on, and I want to make sure that I get them right. So if you could wait till the end, I would really appreciate that. Okay. That's the plan for today. So if you could hold tight about 40 seconds, I'm going to run that US legal disclaimer, and I will be back in 40 seconds. Thanks. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right. Quad says, Berkshire is not looking so good. Looking like I'm going to hit my end of day stop. Let's take a look. Yeah, it does look like it. But I'm glad you're following your rules. Wiener Dog says, good afternoon, Greg and all. Hi, Karen. Nice to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well, man. Kamal says, financial. So much promise yesterday. There was, until we got newsed. Everybody got newsed with that report that came out about the banks right after the close, moments after I took my position, actually. Steve says, I would be interested in BRKB in the 30 RSI zone. Yes, I 100% agree. I have been patiently waiting to buy Berkshire. I really like Berkshire. I mean, they have a lot of cash. They have very, very smart people running the company. They, they tend to wait for things to get bad. Then they have a lot of cash. They can go in and get good deals. Warren Buffett's a smart guy. And the key though is fundamentally, yes, I like the company, but on the other side, you kind of want a technical entry. That's the best combo. Good fundamentals, good entry trigger on the technicals. Okay, Frank has a poem. Block 1. Okay, this is a 2 blocker. First you're up, then you're down, then the market spins you around. It plays with your head, it butters your bread, then decides to eat it instead. Just when things start to weigh, we do the whole thing again the next day. That is true, Frank. Let's read it one more time. First you're up, then you're down, then the market spins you around. It plays with your head, it butters your bread, then decides to eat it instead. Just when things start to weigh, we do the whole thing again the next day. Man, that was almost painful because it's so true, right? If somebody came from another world or something, or a different country, and didn't understand, and they read this poem and they go, this is what your life is like? And you're like, yeah. And they're like, why? Right? Food for thought. Thank you, Frank. Excellent as always. Always appreciate the effort, my friend. GM is here. What's happening? Haven't seen you for a while. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for coming back. Steve says, this is one of your best so far, Frank. LOL, and they are all great. I agree. I mean, Steve, should he not make a trading book? I mean, I would think that every hedge fund, every prop trading firm, every serious trader would have it as a coffee book, a coffee table book. I mean, Frank, you should do it, seriously. And then just tell a little story how you started to do it in Gossett Trading and Mentoring. Give me a little plug. Excuse me. All right, let's get to it. We have a ton to get through today. Let's look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. All right, first of all, gold. Gary and a bunch of us bought gold with the 520 crossover here on the 10th of June. I bought half here at the close. I bought half of my position the next day when it pulled back a little bit, giving me an average entry price of 162.78. Moved sideways. The 5 stayed over the 20. Thought it was going to stop me out pretty soon, but then it went on a nice tear up. Boom, 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 boom. I scaled out, scaled out, scaled out. I did take half of my profits here when we had this V1 to the downside. We were right up next to the third ATR channel. Did go down a little bit the next day. Today it went down and then reversed strongly back up. No profit target here, but who knows, maybe at the end of the day. But V1 bullish engulfing bar to the upside. MACD is still strong. There's no divergences. So who knows? We may have a little bit more in gold. I did have a nice day trade on gold, and I'll share that after. Okay, this is the ugly one. This is the major stinker. This is the one that we got newsed on yesterday. Like Kamal said, we had such a great setup. We had a V2, false breakouts to the downside, close above the 200-day, which backed us well on Goldman Sachs. Everything looked fantastic. And then literally minutes after I bought my position, the news came out about the stress test and so forth. It gapped down, hit my emergency stop. An emergency stop for me is always the value of 2 ATRs from my entry. So the 1665, so I take whatever I'm going to lose. Let's say on this particular trade, let's say I'm willing to lose $1,000. Okay, take $1,000, divide it by the value of the 2 ATR. That would tell me to buy 60.4 shares. So it would tell me to buy 60 shares. Well, if 60 shares goes down 16.55, I hit my emergency stop. And that's what happened. Different numbers on this for me. But listen, I didn't like to hit the emergency stop, but I got out at 193.85 instead of, if I had not had the emergency stop, I'd be in at 4 points lower if I would have held, right? So I'm really, really grateful for that. It's too bad I don't hit emergency stops a lot, but I did hit it today. But just goes to show you that having an emergency stop in here is a good rule, because if I had not taken it, it would be down 4 points or more. I also did have 2 day trades on Goldman Sachs intraday. I'll show you those in a minute. Real quick, SPY, in case we have some new viewers today. I do buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight. I take the overnight risk. I sell it first thing the next morning. Why would I do this? This is based upon a long-term back-tested study from Liz Ann Saunders at Bespoke Invest. They tested 2 approaches every day since 1993. First approach, buy the SPY at the open, hold it through the day, sell it every day at the close. This approach, you would have returned negative 13.9% return for all your troubles. The opposite approach, buying SPY at the close, like I do, holding it overnight, taking the overnight risk, selling the first thing the next morning, up 634.2%. Big difference in when you buy and sell the SPY based upon this back test. Past performance, no guarantee of future results. That's true. That goes for any trading approach. Just because something's worked well in the past does not mean it has to work well in the future. It may never work again. But if I'm going to allocate money towards something, it's going to be towards something that has a good back-tested results, right? Blue line, buy in the afternoon, sell the next morning. Orange line, buy in the morning, sell that same afternoon. Huge difference. The blue line, all it's done is gone up and up and up and up. It does have drawdowns, but over time, all it has done is gone up and up. So it's like me being the full-time owner of the SPY, but instead of holding it during the day, I only hold it overnight, because really that's where the edge comes from in this approach. It's taking risk. You get rewarded to take risk, and you can see it doesn't go straight up. You've had, I went through 3 months or 2.5 months of huge drawdown with this approach. Look here, it's like 2 years down, right? But then maybe you have 5 years up as well. So I'm always conservative in what I buy. I basically take my maximum risk. I divide it by the 2 ATR of the SPY, which is here, 1327. So if I'm going to risk $1,000, I'm going to divide it by 1327, right? And that will tell me how many shares to buy. I did buy it yesterday at 307.35. Did get out luckily at the open at 306.10. So I lost $1.25, but better than, I'm really glad. I mean, let's try to look at the positive. I'm really glad that I got right out the open, because now it's down 678, which is good for Steve's puts though, that's for sure. I do have puts also. I have had puts up until here. I don't really talk about them too much. But I did feel pretty comfortable buying puts. I sold some credit spreads on the IWM. I did buy some puts on the different indexes, and every day that we've gone down, I basically sit there the whole day and try to get out of them at the ask. And actually, I got out of all of my puts today except for the bearish credit spreads on IWM. So I will be buying this again today. All right, USO. USO is a weekly trade. I did buy USO last week when we went under 30, over 30. We had a V1, got in here at 28.25. Initially went up a couple percent right away, but now it's come back down. Karen's in this trade with me. It is holding the halfway of the washout bar, the 26.80. It's still holding the 30 RSI. So unless there's a big sell-off at the end of the day, I feel pretty comfortable keeping this. Okay, the bright spot of the day. Let's see, Kamal, Pinsky, Karen, and myself. Anybody else in there? No, us 4. We did buy Cirrus yesterday, under 30, over 30, V1, close above the negative third ATR channel. I bought it at 57.73, and today it's up 1.14%. So anyway, I am glad for any little up have today. No profit targets yet, but I will definitely be keeping this. Okay, now let me quickly show you the day trades, which were better. All right, here is gold. I did already buy gold. I had that as a swing trade, but I found this really good setup here. See the V1, bar 1, bar 2, bar 2 washes out bar 1, closes above bar 1's close. Also washed out this previous low. I was chatting with Kamal earlier. Honestly, my favorite setup of all times is this setup, where you have a false breakout to the downside of the previous range and a V1. Bought it here at 164.52. It immediately went up, which was great. Up, 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 up. It went more than one ATR for my entry, and then this bar closed below the previous low, and I had to get out. So I got in at 164.52. I got out at 164.74. And then what do you think it did? That's right. It went screaming away from me. I was chatting with Kamal saying, man, why did I adhere to my plan? Well, you have to adhere to your plan, but I have gold anyway in my swing trade, so I was still happy about that. Okay, so that's the gold trade. That was a good one. Then I decided to punish myself even more and take a trade on Goldman Sachs again, even after I had hit my emergency stop. So here we're below the 180 value zone. We came into the value zone. We had a nice V1 here plus the triangle, right, where you have a bearish followed by a bullish, which means it's really bullish, plus you had the V1. I bought here at 194.30, and I had to get out immediately the very next bar at 193.55. So 194.30 I got in and got stopped out at 193.55, but it did get a little better. And take a look again. Here we go. Here's the setup. V1, false breakout to the downside. Looks exactly like gold, doesn't it? Right? Here's the V1. Here's the previous low of the range. Washed them both out. Went back up. I got in at 191.68. And it moved up, 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 up. Nice. And I did get out. I didn't wait till the end of the bar because I knew it was going to get out. I knew that it was going to close below just because I was watching it. So I got in at 191.68. I got out at 192.36. So anyway, I was glad to get a little bit of money back from Goldman. And then I had a trade on Apple. A couple trades on Apple. 3 trades on Apple? Yes, I had 3 trades on Apple. Okay, look familiar? V1, false breakout to the downside. False breakout to the downside plus the V1, right? I got in here at 356.25. 356.25. And I got out here at 358.78. So that was more than $2 on that trade. Again, V1, false breakout to the downside. Love that. Then I shorted here. And it's going to be hard to show you this, but you can see here's a V2 to the downside. Here's bar 1, bar 2, washed out bar 1, bar 3, closed below. Bar 1's close. I went short. It rejected the 100-day moving average. On the 39-minute, if we switch over to the 39-minute, the reason I took it was I took it right, what was it? The bar was here. It was right up against the 50 RSI on the higher time frame. So the higher time frame was at a 50 RSI. And then on the shorter time frame, I saw the trade. So I got in here, I went short at 359.76 and it went down, down, down. It was a nice easy trade. And then I got out here at 358.29 when it had the V1 and the rejection of the 1 ATR channel. So I shorted at 359.76, got out at 358.29. So over $1 on that one. And they did not all work out. I did buy this one. I was on with Kamal when I bought this one. I like this trade. It went under 30, over 30, rejected the third ATR channel. I got in at 356.02. It immediately bounced for me. And I thought, great, great, great. and then it failed and it closed below 30. So got in at 356.02, got out at 355.62. So, not too big of a loss on that one. But all in all, the day trades were positive. I'm really happy for that. And that really helped make up for Goldman Sachs today, along with some of those puts that I exited. Is that all? That's it. Okay. Quad says the market is eating our whole basket of baguettes. Yes. Stephen Ducks. Hi, Stephen. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Hope you come back. Hey, Glenn, buddy, what's happening? Glenn says, hi, Greg. Entered MEN with the 520 crossover at 58.10. All right. If you guys don't mind, try to tell me what your entries are if you could at the end. I know, look, if you can't stay till the end, then that's fine. But if you are going to stay till the end, please let me know, okay? Please, if you could, wait till the end. 58.10. Glenn has 58.10. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful on NEM. What is that? Oh, that's Newmont Mining. Okay. Yep. The miners are up today with the gold. Interestingly enough, just because gold's up doesn't mean miners are up. All right, I got you, Glenn. GM says, hey, Greg, baby, how you shaking? Hopefully this market made you some money in your account today. Well, actually, I am up today because of the puts and because of the day trades. So I feel fortunate about that. So yes, I hope you're doing the same, GM. Bastian is here. Hey, Bastian, good to see you. Hello, all. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good evening in Europe. Steve Burns says, Facebook scorched today after advertisers started pulling out. Yes, I did not realize until earlier that Facebook was down 7. Look at Facebook. It is bounced off the 50-day moving average, which is a good sign. Lots of time that's an intermediate term pullback to the 50, did I say 50 RSI? 50-day moving average. But that's a big bar. That's a lot of supply, a lot of selling that came in there. I'd like to see this thing. I'd like to buy it at a 30 RSI. Karen says, Greg, is your emergency stop placed as an order? Are you watching it all day? Yeah, I don't have it in, Karen, as a actual hard stop in the system because my system doesn't let me put profit targets, partial profit targets above and full stops below. And, most of the time your emergency stop is not hit. So I put my limit orders in the system and then I just watch for the emergency stop. It's a soft stop. So I just have to do that when it happens. GM says, market will go back up. I'm reading their wicked plays. Steep down and steep up is coming. One day, triple and days later. No, okay, I'm not going to go into that. You guys know why. Okay, we have you on record though, GM. Market's going back up. Frank says, with the Fed at our back, I like the SPY above the 200-day and holding it to election day. Yeah, Kamal and I were talking about that on the SPY. I personally think that 200-day is going to be a magnet. I think people are boycotting on buying until it tests the 200-day, and so it kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So yeah, if you anticipate it, you could just anticipate it here, right? And then close below, or you could wait, maybe not get as good a price and see if it rejects it. Okay, let's get on to your trades. Sorry. Kamal had a beautiful trade here on Upwork. Actually, a bunch of us did. A bunch of us had Upwork. Higher low V1, bought here at 1248, at least I did. Went up, went up, went up, went up, went up. I got out half here, got out another half here. So it was a profitable trade, and then it just went racing huge up yesterday and then up. I mean, it's up 1.41% on a day like today. So that's pretty good. So congratulations, Kamal. Kamal is up 13%, over 13%. Pets. Frank, Kamal, Gary, myself, we did buy pets with this higher low V2 here at 37.06. Initially went up, I remember, hit one profit target. I didn't, at the end of the day, I got out here because it had this V1 and it rejected the previous highs here. Then it went down and then it was up and down, and today it is down just a little bit. So a little bit underwater on that trade. Caterpillar. Pincy took Caterpillar yesterday at 124.80, the V1 here, but like with everything else, down today. Look at this. I have cat and dog right next to each other. How about that? I didn't even try to do that. Caterpillar and Datadog. How about that? That must be a sign. Frank did buy DDOG at 84.90. Initially went up nicely, but now it's down 5% today. It looks like we're about break even there for Frank. Snap, beautiful trade for Frank. I think he bought this breakout here, 529, went up, a little pullback, went up, a little pullback, up. And then today, it's kind of given up the ghost with the V1 bullish engulfing bar to the downside, loss of the 70 RSI. But anyway, beautiful trade so far, Frank. CRM, Glenn bought CRM here at 185.11. Initially went beautifully up, down, sideways, and then a little underwater on this trade now. Baba, a bunch of us bought Baba here with this pullback to value, sideways motion. I know I bought it at 206.69. Moved up. I think I got out here with this V1 to the downside. But it just kept going up. It just kept going up. Last 3 days have been down. So Frank is still nicely in the money on this trade, but kind of a big down day there today, unfortunately. Dexcom. Glenn bought Dexcom here at 375.16. It's been a beautiful trade. And then a little bit of a pullback. Down a little bit today, but still nicely up. TLT. Frank, finally, we got a good winner for Frank today. A bunch of us bought TLT back here at 156.10, under 30, over 30, rejection of the 6 ATR channel. Went skying on up here, scaled out. I got out here. Then it moved sideways, went down, and it has reignited today up 1.3%. 1.03%, which is a big day for in bonds. That's a big move in bonds. So very nice, Frank. MDB, Kamal, another nice trade here at 201.70. Again, like I was showing you with the day trades today, V1 false breakout to the downside. Bought at 201.70, and this has just gone up, and it was had enough manners today to actually go up for Kamal as well. So very nice. USO, okay, I can take that one off of there because I know that for Kamal got out of that. Norwegian Cruise Lines. Glenn has had a monster short on Norwegian at 1943. He called it perfectly. Down. Had a little up day yesterday, but right back down today, down 6%. Glenn is up approximately 22.5% on this trade. You remember back here when all the Robinhood traders were going crazy for Norwegian Cruise Line and the airlines? Yeah, this is what happens. AGQ, Kamal bought AGQ here 27.79 with the 520 crossover. It's been all over. Up, down, and a little up today. So I think he is in the money on this. I remember I got in here, hit a profit target, got out of half, then it went back up. I'm like, dang, I wish I didn't get out half. And then it went down. I'm like, glad I got out of half. Okay. Well, Kamal's had some good trades, but we're going to have to go over to the bad ones too. Here is FAS, rejection of the 50-day, bought it here at 31.25, rejection of this previous low, down 10% today. I don't know if Kamal had an emergency stop that already hit. But anyway, you don't see a lot of bad trades from Kamal, but just goes to show you, right? Even the best traders do have big hits. Quad, we talked about that. I mean, I can see why you took the trade. A false breakout, V1, you know, really my favorite setup. But, you know, today, what are we down? We're down. Oh, no. My brokerage account is frozen, which let me see if this will help it. I guess it's okay. I don't have to do anything. And I already have. Oh, there. Is it back? It's back. Okay. Whew. But anyway, I see why you took that trade, Quad, but it just didn't work out. RY, Karen did buy RY, but it got hit along with the other financials. But at least this one's only down 2.4% only, right? Walmart. I think Pince is the only one left in this. We all took, I remember I took Walmart here. We scaled out. I think I got out here, and then it's gone down. It tried to reverse back up today. Now it looks like it's losing the 200. And then MEN was our last trade for Karen and Glenn. Oh no, sorry. I think that was a previous trade for Karen. But nice trade there, Glenn, for sure. All right. So we're down 765 points. Unbelievable. Frank said, it's clear the Fed is willing to print. Normally, Greg, I'm not in Cirrus, never have been. Oh, did I have you there, buddy? Sorry. Okay. Thanks for letting Mark. Marco's here. Hey, buddy, good to see you. Frank says, I sold GS and BABA at the open. Okay. That's good. That's very good. I sold my GS emergency stop. Yep. Okay. Well, I'm glad you adhered to your emergency stop. Worst trade of my life. Yeah. Well, any trade with an emergency stop is not a good trade. We got news on that one. Steve says, looks like I will be locking in my SPY put profits and rolling it to a new at the money weekly today. I'm up 25% here. Fantastic, Steve. So he's rolling his puts because the delta has got high. And so he's going to roll them more at the money. So he has more potential for gamma extension and expansion. Okay, so listen, before we start going through the watch list, or before I go through the candidates for the potential trade at the end of the day, I do like to talk about trader psychology, trader philosophy. There's some really good Facebook and Twitter channels out there that spend a lot of time and effort, burn a lot of calories in putting out these good sayings for us. And every single one is worth their weight in gold. It really, really is. If you just read it, just don't read it, but read it and internalize it. And this one comes from our good friend Stephen Burns, who's here with us right now. And this is over on his Facebook channel, New Traders, Rich Traders. This is a great channel over on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, join this group. I'm in there. Steve's in there. bunch of good people are in there. But let's see what Steve has to say. Big positions combined with a big ego can cause traders to make big mistakes. I mean, truer words have never been said. This was me in my 20s. This was me in my 20s. I took big positions with a lot of money and I had a lot of ego, and I never thought I could be wrong. Man, has trading changed me. I am completely opposite from that person. You wouldn't even recognize me. But you know why? Because I got humbled by the market. And if you take big positions and you have big egos, you are really certain about something, and you take big positions, hopefully it will work out for you. But in my experience, it gets everyone. No matter how smart, no matter how clever, no matter how good of a fundamental or technical analyst they are, it gets everybody. Big positions, in my opinion, is an issue. Big ego is always an issue. More people that I know have big egos. They never think they're wrong. They think it has to do this or it has to do that. Let me tell you something. It doesn't have to do anything. And when it's super high, it doesn't mean it has to go down. And when it's super low, it doesn't mean it has to go up. Check yourself. Make sure you're a little humble in your ego, right? Position size correctly, be humble in your ego, because a lot of the time, 85% of the time, big position and big ego is probably going to do okay. But that 15% is going to flatten you. It's going to flatten you. Like Bruce Lee says, you have to be like water. Do all the fundamental analysis you want, do all the technical analysis you want, but please position size so if you're wrong, it doesn't change your life, right? And don't have such a big ego you can't be wrong. I know a guy, he cannot take a loss. He will not take a loss. He asks me all the time, what do you think I should do with this? I'm like, get out and take the loss. Well, then I'd lose money. Yeah, that's exactly right. You'd lose money. But at least you'll lose, you won't lose as much money if you get out now. But something about his ego will not let him take a loss. I mean, that doesn't work when you're a trader, folks. Let me tell you what. Anyway, hope that helps. Thank you, Steve, so much. Appreciate that. Hey, real quick, before we get on, I was looking through one of my first trading books. I bought this trading book in 1995. Street Smarts, High Probability Short-Term Trading Strategies by Larry Connors. I'm sure you've heard of Larry Connors. And Linda Raschke. I'm sure you've heard of Linda Raschke. Two very famous traders, very well known, very successful. This is such a great book. I don't think you can get it anymore. This is like an antique. Probably cost a couple $100, but if you ever can get it, it is such a great trading book. I was looking through here. Remember we were talking about wolf waves? Look, here's this is a big book too. Here's the chapter on wolf waves that Linda Raschke and Larry talk about. I've been looking for wolf waves. I haven't been finding any. And then you can see I went through, I had all my charts that I was drawing. I mean, every single page is marked up. You can see all of my little highlights. Every single book is highlighted, but this is really the book that got me into trading. So if you ever can find this book, Street Smarts, High Probability Short-Term Trading Strategies, man, it's a great book. All right. Well, I just thought that was fun when I saw that. Okay. Is Apple off of its low here? Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. That's some big momentum right there. Oh, Cirrus up nicely. Almost. Profit target time. 59.21. Okay. Well, let's take a look at some of the potentials here. There were not a lot. Um, I went over Kamal's scanner here on my regular watch list. There's just not a lot here. Well, Sprouts market is still ranking pretty high, but I'm not going to buy it here. I missed this trade here. You remember, right? I was sitting here, I was waiting for it to close over 50, and it just barely closed under, unfortunately. And look at this. Just moved up. That's what it sometimes, sometimes you have your rules and your rules tell you not to, and my rules told me not to, and it just took off like a monster. XLU is kind of interesting for sure. We are down here in the low 30s. We are at the negative third ATR channel. We did close this gap from over here back like June or May 20th. Like it's okay. I like the bounce here, but I don't, it's an anticipatory trade that it would hold at the 30, and at the third ATR channel. I would feel much better about this if it went under 30, over 30, under the negative third, over the negative third. Let's go over and take a look at the weekly. It could easily go down to this -1 ATR channel down here at 53, 54. I'd like to see it bounce off that on the weekly, and then at the same time go under 30, over 30 here on the daily. So I think I'm just going to pass on this one, although it did rank high. All right, here's our Cirrus. So that's doing well. Boy, that'd be fantastic if we hit a profit target on that with the Dow down 640 points. But we'll see. I have them in. But this trade's fine. It under 30, over 30, V1 over the negative third ATR channel, and it is up 1.96% today. So that is good. I'll take it. Actually, let me look back over here on Cirrus on the week. Okay, Kirkland. Well, we are in the value zone. We did move one day sideways. We did reject yesterday's low. That's about it. I think this one looks better on the weekly. Yeah, it does, because we have a pullback to value and a V1. See, above the value zone, into the value zone, sideways motion. Last week had a V1 on the weekly, which is a good sign. But as far as the daily here, I just think I'm going to have to pass on that one. Cisco is pretty interesting here, isn't it? We had a bounce off. We had a V1 yesterday. We had a nice bounce off the 200 today. Let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly, it's above the 50. Has that 100 above it. Moving sideways, which is good, showing some sideways motion. I mean, I do like the relative strength here. I do like that it's over 50. Let's look at the monthly. I have here Kamal on weekly. Are you still in this trade, Kamal? So that's holding the 50. That's above the 50 on the weekly. Hey, that was Cirrus. Yay, hit the profit target. Sweet. All right, Roku. Well, better than buying up here at the third ATR channel, has come down. We are holding the 100-day. The weekly, We are down from last week, but I think we didn't quite get the halfway. Above 50. Yeah, I don't know. For me, I don't think so. ICE, I liked ICE earlier in the day when I was holding the 200. I really don't see anything. The only thing I possibly see here today is Cisco for me. Let's take a look real quick and look at the indexes. So here's Apple. So a key point here on Apple, see how we're holding the 10-day moving average on the daily? That's somewhat important. It did respect the 10-day moving average. If we go intraday, well, I'll tell you what, look here on the 39-minute chart. Looks like we have a false breakout to the downside from this low, and we are forming a possibly, I don't know if it's going to trigger, I don't know if it's going to confirm. I'm not going to take this because there's only 10 minutes left. Dow Jones, we've lost the 50 RSI, we've lost the 200-day moving average. I don't really see anything there. Facebook, my gosh, down 7.9%. I really wouldn't buy anything there. IWM is, it's holding here. It's holding here, but under the 50 RSI as well. Qs, back in the value zone at least, right? Don't want to buy up here, but I do like to buy in the value zone. So, if we could just get a day or two sideways motion. United Airlines, I considered buying that yesterday, but I decided not to, and I'm glad that I didn't, although it did hold the 50% of yesterday's big bar. UNG, look at this, everybody. Wow. It was down like 8% yesterday. VIX has to be up, right? I haven't really looked at VIX today. It's up 6.42%. Yeah, I really don't see anything personally that I am interested in buying here. Let's see if anybody else. Evan says, does anyone know the news on Big today? Why is it up so huge? Whoa. Holy smokes. Because they do things in a big way. That's why, Evan. I don't know. Gary M. Hey, buddy. Hey, Greg and all. Was listening from the car. Just got to my computer. I think Gary's having a good day today. I think so, right? Good to see you, bud. Kamal says not in Cisco. Okay. I don't know why I had that on there. David says, hi, Greg. A little late today. Looking forward to our first lesson today. I am too. I'm so excited to be teaching tonight. David and I are doing doing the course, and we're doing our first lesson tonight at 6:30. So looking forward to that, Dave. Gary said, sold my GS puts 2 days early. Oh, no, really? I remember last time we spoke, you talked about those puts. Do you still have Apple? Steve Burns says, I bought July 2nd SPY 301 put options. Okay, so July 2nd. So that's next Thursday at 3. He bought the 301 July 2nd, 301 at the money option. Sarge, hey, Greg. Hey, Jesse. Is that Jesse? Is that you, buddy? Bob says, Big Lot shares are trading higher after company issued second quarter EPS guidance above analyst expectations. RGGN. RGEN. Is that Jesse or Kurt? Oh, man. Hey, good to see you. RGGN, I mean, I really I really don't see anything there. I mean, we had the V1 yesterday, although it's a big bar. I honestly don't see Chris Shape. Hey Chris. TTWO. It's up today. I don't quite see a signal though. Man, it's good to see you, Jess. Appreciate you being here. I'd love to catch up with you, see how things are going. Gary said, still in Apple, SPY, Diamond, and Q puts. Well, you're having a good day, buddy. Glad to hear that. Yeah, that's not bad. I don't know if it's quite to a V1 though. I think it's close. 2269. So it doesn't, I don't think I'm taking anything today. The only thing was possibly Cisco, and I don't know. The time to have taken it was yesterday. Now I don't like the risk to reward. Yeah, if NTNX could get above that 2268, it would be okay. It would be okay. I mean, it'd be a false breakout to the downside and the V1. I think I'm going to buy my SPY today, and I think that and keep my IWM bearish credit spreads and hold gold, and I think that's it. So Goldman Sachs was horrible off, SPY little loss, but with the buy, and then CRUS, really glad that came. Now Apple's down 10. Wow. Steve says my new SPY put is already up 17.19%, but that can change quickly. Wow, very nice, very nice. Excuse me, that's the thing. Glenn says Doc has rocket fuel under it. Chris Shape, 1110. What's that? What does that mean? Oh, 1110 on Apple. Wow. Wow, wow. Well, I'm not going to have enough time to buy this NTNX. I don't know. It looks like it might trigger here, but I just don't like the risk to reward. So I'm just going to play it safe. Wow. I'm having serious issues with my account here. Oh well, it's already in. Okay. Well, that's that. That's that. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's frozen. Shoot. All right. Well, what a day, what a week. Dow's down 730 points. So anyway, kind of a bummer. That Goldman Sachs trade was not good, but it's just another reminder. I always go into every single trade really thinking to myself, like, hey, I might hit my emergency stop. So I want to make sure that whatever I decide is my emergency stop dollar amount, that I'm really okay with it. Not that I say I'm okay with it, but I'm really okay. In my experience, if I ask somebody, hey, what's your maximum loss on a trade that you're going to be comfortable with? I don't know, maybe 1,000. I'm like, okay, we'll take that and put it in half. It's usually about half of what people tell you, right? You want to have the amount that you lose really, honestly, not emotionally affect you. I know it's hard to deal with the loss, but you have to really figure out what dollar amount really will not destabilize you. That's the key, in my opinion. It really is. All right. Does anyone, if you have any changes for me, any entries or exits on your stocks, please let me know, and I'll go ahead and take those off. If you have any other questions for me, please let me know. Happy to answer them for you. Before I do, just real quick, just going to run through my quick little daily plug and let everybody know that I do offer and teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I've had really good success with my clients. I've studied with some really great traders and mentors and authors over the last 24 years, like Stephen Burns and Dr. Alexander Elder, and Larry Williams and Carrie Lavorne. And what I teach in my course is a combination of everything I've learned over my experience and everything that I've learned from those four great traders. So I think it's a really good course. It's long form, it's pretty intense. I ask you a lot of questions. I teach the first part of the lesson. The second half of the lesson, I have you answer questions. I throw you curveballs. We look at tons and tons and tons of charts. And, I teach you everything I've learned and everything I know and everything I've learned. And, by the time you're done with the course, I really honestly feel like it's going to be worth every penny that you spent for the course. It is $1,000. I mean, I try to make it somewhat affordable, also taking into consideration that it is 15 hours. So if you've been thinking about it, reach out to me. You can send me an email. You can send me a message on Twitter. My Twitter account is @Gossett Trading. And if you do reach out to me, then I'll just say, hey, let's set up a Skype call. The Skype call's free. I'd like to learn more about you. It's a good time for you to ask me any questions about the course or myself. There's no sales pressure, I promise you. I literally just want to see if we're going to be a good fit. I won't even ask you, so do you want to take the course? No, I just say, listen, thank you for your time. It was nice talking to you. If you're interested, email me tomorrow or in the future if you are. So there's no sales pressure, and it's totally free. I really want to reiterate that because I don't like sales pressure stuff. I really, really don't. And I'm sure you don't either. So if you're interested, reach out to me. I am having my first lesson tonight with David, and I'm excited for that. I really, really am. And it's great to see Jesse there too. Jesse was one of my former students as well. Thanks for stopping by, Jess. I really like to catch up with you and see what's going on. Oh, also, if you could hit the thumbs up button before you leave, I would really appreciate that. It does, help with Google and with YouTube as far as, letting them know there's some value here. So if you did find some value in today's podcast or in the podcast in general, I would really appreciate it. And if you could just hit that button before you click out of here. Okay, let's see. Steve says, I hope everyone enjoys their weekend. You too, Steve. Thank you for coming by, buddy. Pinsky said, I sold my last shares of Walmart. Okay, so you are out of Walmart. Where did Walmart go? Did I already take it off? I guess I already took it off. Okay. Kamal bought NTNX. Okay, got you, Kamal. and sold out of fast. Okay. Also, maybe you did hit your your emergency stop. Out RY. Okay. Gary M says, I said 5,000 when we first started lessons. Boy, has that changed. I told you, right? Everyone always seems to, when they say, hey, what's your maximum loss that you're okay with? You know, I hear a lot of people say it's 500 or it's 1,000. And I'm usually like, in reality, it's probably half of that. You might be able to take one loss like that, but multiple, it's going to destabilize you. And the key is not to get destabilized. It's finding that perfect number where if you lose, you're like, it's unfortunate, but you're still cool, right? You're still in control. You're not, the angels and devils aren't coming out on your shoulder, and big losses generally do that. So my good rule of thumb, if you think you're okay with a $500 loss on a stock, on emergency stop, knock it down to 250. In my experience, that's the right level. Boston said, thanks for today, Greg. Nice weekend to all. You too, sir. Appreciate you coming, Boston. Really nice to see you, and I hope you and Marco are doing well. I know you two are cousins. Oh, let's see. So I did get it filled on SPY at, wow, 300.05. All right. So I got filled here at 300.05. What's going on? Huh. Oh, geez, the SPY is up $1 after hours. Well, that's good. There we go. Karen, you have a wonderful weekend as well. And hey, we need to finish up your lessons when you're ready, okay? Gary says, hope everyone has a great weekend. Enjoy your lesson, David. Worth every penny. Oh, good. Thank you so much for that, Gary. I appreciate that. Any other changes for anybody on anything? Okay, Walmart's gone. We know that. Berkshire Hathaway, I think, is also gone for quad, right? Newmont Mining is Glenn's new one. Oh, almost hit that profit target on gold. Not quite. I didn't even know it was close. Goldman Sachs, that was disastrous. That's why, you know, you always have to have that emergency stop. You never know when some news is going to come along, right? And another good point here is, you know, there were great setups yesterday on GS and FAST and all sorts of financials. And, you know, again, just word to the wise, I think it's a good policy not to buy more than one stock in any industry in one day. You know, you can maybe stagger into them, but buying two at the same day, buying two financials yesterday, of course, would have been horrible today, obviously. All right, so I have SPY. Be interesting to see if we test that 200. I bet we will. And gold's doing fine. Gold's doing well. Cirrus with the one profit target today, and then oil. I did keep oil. All right. Any other changes in the lineup? I have Kamal has Upwork. Frank, Kamal, and Gary still have pets. I don't know if Pincy still has Caterpillar. Frank, if he still has Dog or Snap. Or Glenn has CRM, Alibaba, Dexcom for Glenn, Frank with the TLT, Kamal with the MDB, NTNX. Okay. Kamal says, Greg, is there a bird in your house? No, there is not a bird in my house. There is a bird way outside. Is that really loud? Sorry. I have the door open because it's so hot. That's a magpie. I live up here in the wilderness. All right. Any other updates? Any other questions? I'm happy to answer them for you. It's a hot one out there today. I'm going to go put my hiking clothes on and my hiking boots and head up into the mountains and maybe listen to some music, maybe a podcast. I'm not sure if I can find something good, and then come back, have a little bite to eat, and then start my lessons tonight with David. So I'm looking forward to that. All right. Well, last chance, last call. All right. All right, everybody. Well, listen, please have a nice weekend. Please be safe. Have fun. Be good. Try to do something nice for somebody today. Just a smile or a wave or a kind little gesture, right? We need a lot more of that in our world. Try to do something like that every day. Oh, sorry. Okay. And we'll see how things go next week. It'll be interesting to see how the markets open on Monday. Let's always be safe. Let's always, think about our maximum loss. I was talking about this earlier, but if you can really internalize and really get okay with losing your maximum loss, it makes trading a lot easier, I'm telling you. But if you fool yourself into thinking that you're okay with a maximum loss that you're really not okay with, then that's an issue. And remember, you may not just have one position, you may have 5 positions. Ideally, you want to be okay with your maximum loss on all of your positions at one time. That's a tall order, right? Because in your mind, you don't really think it's going to happen, but ideally, you should be able to be okay if it does happen. So, okay, well, that's it. If you could hit the thumbs up button before you get out of here, I would really appreciate it. And if you are interested in doing lessons with me, just reach out to me on Twitter or on Skype, and we'll sit down. We'll have a fun little Skype call and get to know more about each other. All right? All right, everybody, take care. I really appreciate you being here. I always look forward to seeing you. And have a good weekend, and we'll chat on Monday. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity.